Sonic, you sure this is the right way?
I saw Shadow and Eggman head this way. This has gotta be the right way.
But it's so spooky here.
Maybe that's the ghost of Shadow we saw earlier.
Woo! Stop it, Knuckles.
Hello everybody, this is Giraffe Dragon and welcome back to the next part of the Team Sonic playthrough. We are now in the spooky, scary castle area of Hanging Castle. Now the special gimmick for this level, whenever you touch those orbs, the world turns upside down. This gives us an opportunity for some very surreal sort of visuals. And once again, in usual me fashion, I am very late to uploading videos as per usual. And as of the time that this video is going to be recording, it's about like halfway through September, and October's coming up. I'm just thinking, man, I already started college and I haven't done a single bloody video that wasn't on Twitch. So I just figured that, you know, I give some help or something. Something around that line.
Switch again.
Ooh, I always love the aesthetic of this place. Woohoo! Now I suppose onto subjects of future events. I am going to see if I can try to try to upload a video once every month or so. Not once every month, but more like once every week if I can help it.
Let's go!
And after we get done with the Team Sonic playthrough, I'm probably going to cover a game that I had started a while back, but I haven't finished it. No, it's not going to be really Thousand Year Door. I'm going to be sort of mixing Thousand Year Door along with other videos I'm going to be making, sort of doing alterations. That way I sort of keep everything connected. Because I really do want to get back to Paper Mario. Because, well, it's one of my favorite games ever. No! Why are we sucking so much about this? By the way, this magician character, he heals the bad guys. He is a bitch to fight. So, yeah, kill him first if you have the opportunity. If he flips over, there is another alternate variation of him where if you flip him over, he turns into a jester that steals your rings. If he does that, then kill him even faster than you would if he was the magician, because here's the thing is that it puts you in sort of like this sort of like tumble animation, and it even works so long as you're within the boundaries of the circle, even if you're in flying formation way above it. So that's something to sort of keep in mind with the magician when he turns into the jester. Now the only way that he turns into the jester is if he naturally is in the jester state, or if if you use a blue tornado and turn him over that way. Go ahead and destroy these guys. Now, when you hit these targets, you can get various sort of like rewards for hitting some points of it. If you hit close to the center, you'll get a Team Blast. But if you hit dead center, you'll end up getting a 1-up. Honestly, in my opinion, the Team Blast is arguably more useful than the 1-up, because the Team Blast would just prevent you from losing a life in the first place in most situations. If you actually decided to go behind where I was, you could have flipped a switch and you could have gotten access to a whole bunch of rings. Okay, and then we do that, and then you fly all the way up here. Woohoo! And I'm actually deciding that I'm not going to try to. I'm going to try to show all the. What is it? Frick, I was just thinking it. The bonus stages.
Too cool.
But I will show them off once, but I will end up just probably using my completed save file for the final story if I don't happen to get them all.
Got it.
Okay, and then we want to go right around over here. Go ahead and do that. Yeah, level 3 flight formation characters will destroy most will destroy bunches of standard mooks. And now I'm thinking about it, I guess some sort of like a slightly off-topic conversation is I'm really excited for the Key Knight campaign that's going to come out, which is coming out in April of 2019. I am very much disappointed. Because I remember when the announcement for the game was first made.
We're back to normal now.
Shut up. Okay. Anyway, I basically heard that back when the announcement was first made, it was going to come out like in this in the spring of this year. Because it was like it was set to come out the summer the previous year, but then it was set to the spring of this year, and then it was changed again. to April, and now it's also set back again to April of the following year.
Sonic, look! There's a target switch!
You see?
Here we go.
So useful. By the way, we seem to have a statue of Eggman, but when it turns upside down, it seems to turn into a very shadowy character. I wonder who that could be. We'll have to wait to find out later. Anyways, my attempts to be coy in the situation aside, my futile attempts to be coy in the situation aside,
Here we go.
this is probably one of my favorite areas, or at least just like at least in the aesthetics, because because the level that's after this is probably one of my favorites. I would dare say probably top 3 in general.
Let's jump!
Anyways, here, you just sort of want to continue jumping if you can. And then just sort of hop over these guys. By the way, I've actually been watching some shows recently. And a show that I've actually been kind of getting into recently is Hunter x Hunter. Yeah. A show that originally aired in like 1999 and then got like a reboot in 2011. I'm at about like episode 40-ish or so, but I kind of stopped because I was getting a little burned out. Whew, that was tight. Yeah, you said it, Sonic. That's amazing. And now for what is probably my favorite level in the game. Mystic Mansion.
What a castle.
I wonder what's that?
Feels like Halloween with all these ghosts. Not bad. Yeah.
Got it.
Oh, I forgot the lyrics. We'll see.
Nothing but I wonder what that switch is doing.
Because there's no way out. Locked up inside. There's no room to worry. This is a kickin' theme for a kick-ass level. This level deserves that sort of praise.
Hey, I think
Ow.
we step on the shadow.
Whew. Anyway, the main gimmick here is that it utilizes the same sort of same sort of sphere mechanic. However, there is a twist now to it. It changes, since we are within the bounds of the castle itself, it changes the properties of what happens within the castle. For example, in the previous room, we saw that it made a door appear. In this one, it makes a passage appear as well as it makes the enemies pop up as well.
Leave it to me. Let's go.
This was always one of my favorite levels I love to revisit. Woohoo! That took a while. And then go all the way down here. And this is that jester character I was telling you about. Focus him immediately if you have the chance. I dare say that he is worth the effort of killing more so than any other character, than any other enemy would be. Yeah, I find them to be that much of a threat because there have been so many situations where I could have beaten the stage or the level with a relatively high rank if it wasn't for that. If it wasn't for the stupid jester.
Use the brakes to jump. B button to brake, A button to jump.
Woohoo! what he's saying there is actually pretty true, because you can press the B button to break with speed formation, but there's really no point to it. Woohoo! And then we got this. This is getting to the point. We're getting into the points of the game where power formation isn't that useful unless you power it up, because enemies are starting to carry a lot of super powerful and dangerous shields. Now, I suppose some other things is that, going back to the topic of the Key Knight campaign, I am very much looking forward to it, because it... Whoa! Whoa. No. There we go. Is that it seems to be going with a more goal-oriented, beat the stage sort of thing than it is facing a boss at the end of it. Like, what I'm suspecting is that there are going to be really only three main, like, you know, night bosses with I'm suspecting the occasional fight against Spectre Knight. However, with the goal in mind of being more so to focus on just getting to the goal itself, as he seems to be probably the most platform-oriented of the characters, even with characters like, you know, with like Spectre Knight to consider. And Spectre Knight is probably the most mobile. I'm actually trying to think about that question, because who do I think is more mobile? Well, in terms of, like, you know, stop and go gameplay, Plague Knight has a lot of that, where you have to creatively think of a way around your situation. Whereas with Spectre Knight, it's more of keeping the momentum going. With Plague Knight, it's more like you learn how the stage, you sort of learn how the stage works, and then you utilize blast jumps, and then you utilize bomb jumping to your greatest advantage.
Robot's armor is super hard. Let's try removing it first.
Screw that noise. Don't do. If you have a team blast on standby, I suggest using it on this sort of enemy, because its only weak point is that armor on its head, and that is stupidly annoying to fight. And then I guess we just fall down here. Woohoo! Okay, we have a nice little running start. I think you can actually make that jump with speed formation. And yeah, because Key Knight seems to have that sort of dash maneuver that the charging chucks have in the Mario series, or probably more like Mario from the Wario Land series. And he has the spin jump from like Super Mario World. I'm actually really curious to see as to what kind of like cloak/armors he's going to have, because it's probably going to be something that would emphasize his very much his sort of like bouncy nature, where he can bounce off. That shouldn't have happened. I guess it was because of the hitbox or something. I would actually find it really funny if all of his armors were based off of the Knights of the Knights, of, like, you know, that were the bosses of previous campaigns, because of the fact that he is so uncreative that he needs to steal from other people in order for it to work. Now I want to check this. Nope. Okay, no, never mind.
Leave it to me.
We should take care of them first.
It's almost like it's required, Knuckles. I can't seem to break this cage for whatever reason. And then use the triangle jump here. Boop, boop,
Really
boop,
steep here.
boop.
Be careful.
Yes, Knuckles, I see that. Well, there goes my perfect rank. Oh, well then. Might as well go ahead and just take him out first so that he can't kill the enemies. Thankfully, I died right there and not earlier. And not, like, you know, right before the checkpoint. And there was only right
Really
after.
steep here. Be careful.
Yes, Knuckles, I can see that. Woohoo, okay. I would actually find it really funny if all of his armors were based off of the Knights of like the Order of No Quarter, because he's like, you know, he's so much like that. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if per se. I wouldn't actually be all that surprised if per se. What is it I'm thinking of? that his flashy set of the armor, or like, you know, the one that makes him like looks really cool, is actually just his standard armor because it's already golden. I'm really sort of, I really am looking forward to see what kind of armor sets he will have, though. Because he seems to have a very sort of, like, bounce of forward momentum sort of character feel to him. Whoa! Okay. Whew, okay. Then we make it over this way. Make it over here. You have to defeat all the enemies to progress. And from what I can gather is that the fights that King Knight will end up facing, that we know that are guaranteed, is a Spectre Knight who I expect is going to be a recurring sort of boss fight character, but he's going to be more frequent than say like but he's going to end up being more frequent than say Black Knight. Where he'll end up adding more maneuvers to his tactics to become more tricky, as well as like maybe more curios. And because, you know, as his job is that he was the one who brought the Order and the Quarter together. He was the one who recruited all the other knights. So the fact that you have defeated him and have prevented him from completing his task, it technically makes you him, in a sense, his top priority in a sense. And since he can technically fight any of the members of any of the Order and the Quarter in any order that he desires, that would actually make a whole lot of sense. Now, I'm actually kind of curious to see as to how my rank is, because since I died, like, kind of late into the level, I know I'm going to get a bad rank on this.
Just enough to pass.
Wow. Of course, Knuckles, because, well, I mean, I guess if you're a wizard, exceeding expectations and all. That'd be nice.
Trying to stop us now? Ha, what a joke!
What did you say? Now I'm really mad. Get them.
Moot Rush! I should probably go ahead and warn you guys that these sets of Moot Rushes for all the teams are probably my least favorite. My least favorite variant of them is Team Chaos, which we will see when we do their campaign, which will be a long ways away from here. And now I'm thinking about it, going back to the topic of, like, you know, future events that will happen, I'm going to probably sort of be going back and forth between multiple different sort of like, sort of LPs that I want to sort of like, that I sort of want to keep an eye on all at the same time. That way I always have something interesting coming out, like, for like maybe like for 1 week I focus on a specific type or something. Now, what is this one? Oh shoot. No. Guys, I kinda need you to come back here. Now some of you might be wondering as to why I'm not using my Team Blast here. That's because this is sort of a trick that tries to fool you into thinking that you should use it right here, when in actuality you probably don't want to use it right here. Okay. Now the other LPs that I have in mind that I want to go back to and sort of finish up are the ones that I haven't finished yet, such as Thousand Year Door, Tarzan Untamed. But others of interest that I really want to actually get my hands on is stuff like the Lego Star Wars series, because I have Lego Star Wars 2 still, but I sold the original trilogy 1 years ago because I just sort of found it boring and I wasn't really making much progress on it, and I just found that it wasn't as fun for the most part. But for the sake of like stuff like commentary, the Lego series is a wonderful set of games because it combines sort of like, you know, explorative elements.
Too cool.
Because it utilizes explorative elements along with a straightforward progression. And I remember that every time I played a new Lego game, I always found myself with the thought of, what do I do next? Because there were times where I would actually spend hours I would spend like, an hour or two at a time on specific levels, trying to think, okay, how do I progress forward here? Is this where I think it's going? Oh boy. Yeah, no you. I'm not dealing with you. Screw that. It's your job. We're already at like the 20-minute mark. Please tell me that this isn't what I think it is. Oh boy, it is. Oh, crap. I should have waited. Okay. Almost dead. Is this actually working? I've never had that work before. That was probably the weirdest thing that I've ever seen happen. Whoa! Probably just best to go ahead and focus on using flight formation here. Speed formation isn't actually that useful here. What the? What happened? I didn't press X or Y. The game is acting like I did, but I didn't. Everyone's fully upgraded now. Okay. Whoa. Okay, time to sort of focus on these rails here. Okay. Boom. By the way, speaking of games with DLC and the like, I'm actually really excited about the Hat in Time DLC, even though I don't own the game, because the DLC looks like it's a lot of fun. I kind of want to buy the game actually, because I mean, yeah, the game looks really cool anyways. It's just that I've never really had a reason to buy it because I mean, I don't have Switch, I don't have 64. I don't have, I mean, I technically have a PC, but it's like, I don't really have, I'm not really allowed to spend credit card money unless if it's actually serious. Or at least like, not in excess. Also, a note to everybody. When you're at this final part of the round, whatever you do, don't jump off the edge. Because you'll be in that cutscene and then you'll suddenly die because you fell into the pit. I just figured I'd go ahead and get that out there. 4 minutes, that's pretty bad.
What? That's it?
Anyways, guys, I will see you all next time for whatever video.